Hey, I am excited to be back doing another video for you guys. Two things. I have a cool announcement at the end of the video, but I also have an interesting subject that was brought up because of an email that was sent out by a good friend and partner of mine. Now, one of the things that has been very cool with the COVID, one of the few kind of bright lights is the fact that a lot of companies are being forced to have remote workers. And they're figuring out the technology, they're figuring out how to manage people, and it's one of those things that I think it will be beneficiary. It's going to carry over into the way businesses operate after this whole COVID thing is over. And as somebody who, it's been a long time since I have worked in the office. It's kind of cool. Like I had a good friend of mine who recently joined the program that, I'm very excited. Something special when the people that have known you, I've known this guy since junior high, and I get people all the time. It's like, oh, is this Ace guy real? And like, most people that are here know a lot about my background just because you've been able to follow. But it's especially cool when somebody who's known you since you were freaking 12 years old, and I was not a cool looking 12-year-old kid. I was pretty dorky looking actually. But we're on the call, and my man Sam's on the call, and he's like, man, like one of the things that inspires me to join is like, you never had a job. Like I have known you this whole time, and you actually like, how have you lived this long? I know you don't come from money. Like, you're about to be 40 years old. You've never had a job starting from Enwood, dropped out of college. We went to junior high, high school, and then we were at the same college, and I left. He's like, dude, you're freaking crazy. So, he's like, I'm here. I'm ready, I'm willing to learn, that kind of thing, which that's cool. But I actually did have a job for 6 months. So after my first business failed, I'm like, what am I going to do? I was very happy to get a job. Got fired 6 months later. Getting fired is never fun. I was absolutely devastated, but thank God that I did. Oh my goodness, I just think about it. But I think about, man, I had actually a decent office, and kind of in those 6 months proved myself and worked my way up, and it was great money, and like I said, had a cool office. So I wasn't even working in a cubicle back when I was like 21, 22. And even with that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot. I was looking at people that had been coming to that bank for 40 years and thinking, man, just like the idea of coming back to, I didn't even know anything about the lifestyle I live now, going overseas and all that, but just the idea of coming to that same bank for 40 years. I knew deep down inside, like, okay, let me get as much as I can. I got to get back out. So I am very excited that a lot of my friends that have worked jobs are now, their employers are like, hey, we'll figure out how to set up this whole remote thing, because I think you'll be able to negotiate and leverage that into, hey, look how productive I was while I work remotely. Nothing changed for those folks that are really doing it the right way. If you're, and that's the real goal. It's like, take advantage of this to show your employer I can work as well when you know that I'm in the office as I do when you don't know where I am on the planet Earth, but I'm getting my work done. So that is the big benefit. A lot of people will be able to leverage this into the opportunity to work remotely once all of this is over. There is a big downside, and like I said, it was prompted by an email that my friend and partner, and a lot of different things, we've done funds and all that. And one of the cool things as I talk about, me having funds, one fund that was 8-figure fund, me taking a company public right now. It's on a call today. We're still, even in the current environment, we're still moving forward with that, and very excited. And some of you will have an opportunity to participate in that pre-IPO. So hit me up if you're interested in that. But all of my businesses, I'm chilling right now. This is I'm in the house. And everybody works remotely. So all of those things, 8-figure fund, going public, taking a company public, having a portfolio of over 40 businesses, All of those things are done with remote teams, which takes an additional level of work. But I want my employees to be able to come. I love that. Actually, with a couple of my employees, we planned on being in Brazil right now, which obviously has been canceled. But we've hung out in Medellin and been able to do those kinds of cool things, which is a lot of fun. And it's also cool when an employee posts up a picture of them at a beach in Thailand. I'm like, dude, you're in Thailand? That's awesome. So all of that is really, really cool, which is, by the way, why you should want to be on my team if you're interested in that kind of thing. But the other side of this is, my friend sent out an email. Was talking about how he realized that he could hire a CFO remotely in Asia, and he actually saved $80,000. And it was interesting to me because I've kind of been, partners with him for a long time, so I've seen him go through a CFO and deal with that CFO and it be in the United States and, just trying to figure those things out. And so to have him realize like, oh, like I can do this and get the same quality of work. And he was just saying how exciting that was to be able to save this $80,000. And this is the danger. So this is the other part of this. And I want to tell you how to avoid this. But the other part of this is a lot of companies are going to realize, oh, now that we've set up all the systems, now that we know how to manage people remotely and deal with that, we can go and save money by paying somebody in this other country that has the same education that they didn't have to pay $100,000 for because it's offered free in their country, if not a better education in some cases. All of the things are the same. They speak English, blah, 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 blah. And, like my friend, I'm going to save $80,000. I'm going to save $50,000. A lot of these companies are going to think like that. So while this is a great thing, this is also a thing to be aware of. This isn't just, oh, now I get to work remotely and this is it. And so I want to tell you how you can make sure that you stand apart. And it made me think of a story of when I was flying into Miami, and one of the kind of annoying things actually, when you're flying into Miami, one of the things they make you do is you have to, or you're flying over from overseas, whatever, you have to recheck your bag. So you can't just lay over. So you gotta, turn in your bag, it goes through security all over again, blah, blah, blah. So I'm there, I get up there and I'm trying to recheck my bag and the thing is trying to make me pay for it again. I'm like, I already paid for it, I just have to recheck it. And there's a group of airline employees that are just standing there talking. And so I go over there, I'm like, hey, I'm having an issue with the computer. And the lady's like, snaps back like, the computer does everything. We don't have to do it. We don't do anything. Like the computer, you just have to figure it out with the computer. We can't do anything that the computer can't do. And it was so interesting. I'm like, you're literally saying that there's no point to you being here. And you're also like, you gotta deep down realize that American Airlines, and I'll go ahead and say who it was, American Airlines did not invest in all of these computers and put money into all of this because it also wanted to pay you the same amount not to work. The best thing that you can do to protect your job is come help me, convince me to write to the airline and say, hey, these computers are cool, but like sometimes I need a human. And this was the human that went out of her way to help me. So if you get rid of anybody, don't get rid of her. Get rid of all these other people that are standing around talking while the computers do all the work. And I think that's the key. You got to go above and beyond. You got to make sure that your employer realizes that, hey, there may be cuts. We're about to hit a recession after this. Like things are not going to, once COVID's over, things aren't just going to be beautiful again. We're going to be in a recession. People are going to be looking to cut costs. Because of this whole remote thing, I'm telling you, going to be looking internationally because it's only logical. It's the smart thing to do for their shareholders. So if you want to take advantage of this, and in some cases, it might mean going above and beyond what you would have done normally, just to show, it's one thing to say, hey, I worked remotely and I got the same level of productivity done. The better thing is I work remotely and look, I got 30% more productivity done over the course of this time. So if you want me to get more done, then I can continue working from home. If you want me to do less, then I'll come back to the office. It's like, do you want more or do you want less for the same price? So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing that I do want to announce is that the private equity show, I am doing a whole separate podcast. It's going to be a combination of news, things that are happening in the private equity market, opportunities that exist, things that can benefit you in buying your very first business, and things that can benefit you in managing a full portfolio, down to things that will help you if you're planning on building that 8-figure private equity fund. I would say $9 or even $1 billion private equity fund, and maybe there'll be some little tidbits in there, but I've personally never done that, so I don't want to promise that. But be sure to be on the lookout for that. I'm going to be doing that on a regular basis, and look forward to having you guys participate in that. So first episode will be released very, very soon, and I will make sure you guys are aware of it. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe below, because I'll probably do that as a post. You'll only see it if you're subscribed. So be sure to subscribe below. Comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about my thoughts as far as this remote working thing. And I do have some other things in the hamper that are coming down the pipe that are interesting opportunities that are popping up in the market right now. Thanks so much for checking out the video. If you're interested in any of this, reach out. The website is acechapman.com. I have some unique pre-IPO opportunities that are coming up with the IPO that's going to be done in a couple months. If you're interested in starting a private equity fund, be sure to reach out to us. This is the greatest time in our lifetime. There's probably not going to, we know that there hasn't been one before, and there may not be another one. And so now is the time to be preparing and getting everything in order. And, we're prepared to partner with you if we feel like, you go through our process and you're somebody we're interested in partnering with. And if you're just looking for a really great deal, be sure to reach out as well. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.